I just realized I could do. I have all these paints that are almost running out, but maybe I'll just I'm going to turn them in a cup. Let it sort of run out there. I have a lot of this. Always have a lot of these grays left, and I thought what I might do is try and turn them a bit purple. Actually, I could probably just add some paint to that and mix it in. Don't probably have to mix and pour paint per se. Yeah, let me do that. Where's my purple? Actually, I think on this one, did it tell me not to mix it with acrylics? Do I feel like they mean that? Well, let's try it. I know I shouldn't be so cavalier, but I only want to put in the tiniest bit of pigment in here. Technically, I should do this in white, and I'm literally out of white. I mean, I'm not out when I said I was literally out. I meant I've used up all, oh, see, that looks fine. That made a nice purple. Oh, see, that was no problem with that lavender. I wonder if I want to just pour that back. Oh, gosh, that's actually really pretty. Look at that. It's a little darker than what I had in mind for the background. So anyway, I have white left, but I want to use it. I want to use it a little bit sparingly. I don't want to just use it all up just to paint on the background. So I thought maybe I'd get another color, but now that's so pretty. I hate to use it on it. It's so nice. So if I want to dilute it with a little more of this, just a little more of this gray. I will say though, that was a good idea. Just mix a little purple in there. Better idea than a lot of ideas I have. I'll say that for it. I'll maybe make it a little bit lighter, because even that little bit of pigment sure went a long way. Everybody likes purple. Purple is a universally beloved color. Okay, now you're probably saying to yourself, I bet it's hot there, and you're being an idiot again and pouring in the heat, and you are not wrong. Because I don't know, there's something about the afternoon. I start thinking, you know, I really want to do some pouring. And I'm, whatever it is, falling prey to the definition of insanity and coming out here anyway, even though I know I shouldn't. Go figure. It's one of those things. One of those things in life. Now, I'm just wondering if I really want to follow through with what I had in mind. I don't see why not. You know, but I think I'm not going to turn the fan on this time, because the fan blowing on the paint I think was some of my problem. So I'm just going to put this down as the base coat. Isn't that pretty? Now we know we can do that. We can add a little dioxiding purple to this silver gray and get a beautiful lavender. That makes it a lot more useful. I get my new tool here. I like this spatula. Oh yes, nice heady fragrance of paint in the hot studio. Woo! Actually, I probably could have done a split with that. It's okay though. Could probably just add some more of the gray straight on in there too. Put some in the cup. Makes it a little lighter purple. Do that as well. So today, as I already gave it away, I thought we'd try a nice swipe. I'm just going to kind of get this on here. We're going to have to work quickly over the heat. We can't, as we usually do, just sort of languidly hang out and do our pour. We're going to have to move it. One thing is make sure I get those edges. Edges are hard with this stuff. Really are. Might want to put a little bit more paint on here. I have plenty of paint. Don't want there to be any question we have enough paint. That's just the number one thing I do wrong. Oh, not much came out of that. A little bit. A little bit came out doing that. Let's mix that up. I'm very pleased with this tone, though. Who would have thunk it? That gray could make such a pretty, oh, Shoot, what now? What is that? It looks almost like a piece of leaf or something. Mystery thing that turned up there. All right, let's just throw this along there. See, edges I'm worried about. Edges are always hard. In fact, maybe I'll just leave a little puddle here on the edges. Last time I painted along the side, which actually worked pretty well, but sure we got plenty on there. These little edges just drive me berserko. Have a sip of my cold drink. It is, in all fairness to me, 13 degrees cooler in here than it was the last time I attempted this. So you'd think 13 degrees, that's a lot of degrees, you'd say to yourself, and you would not be wrong. It should be enough, especially if we're swiping. Make sure I've got plenty of paint on there. Start seeing little areas there. I'm just going to fix them up there. All right. Well, we've got a beautiful lavender canvas here. Just going to wipe that off. Probably rinse it off real quick there. A little squirrel came by. I forgot to put out his nuts, and he came by and looked in the window, looked disappointed. And don't worry, I got his nuts out. And then he came back, got his nuts. There's one I recognize because I don't know if he had an incident or something, but he's got like a little ring of white fur around his tail. So I always know when it's him as opposed to the other ones. All right, I'm just going to do some lines here. You're probably thinking, I want to try this. Oh, no, it's not open yet. How funny. Is there another one open of these? Maybe not. Let's see if I can open it real quick. I don't have a world of time here, and sometimes these things are stubborn as anything. I have pliers out here somewhere, but I'm not sure where. Found an extra set of pliers, so I thought, oh, I'll leave one out here. Oh, it came off. Yay. Well, that doesn't often happen. A little bit there. I think I'd like to do some yellow. Do I have any yellows left? You know, I've got yellow of this other type. I'm going to go ahead and mix it in there a little bit, I think. So I do have this color yellow. Oop, it's a little thicker than I thought. That's okay. That's all right. And I want something dark. I don't want everything really bright in here. I have something a little dark here and there. So we'll put some dark green along here, I think. Just so we've got just a little bit of dark. Yeah, a little dark purple. Should we put a little dark purple in there? Just a touch, maybe. Maybe one line. Oh, maybe we'll do a line, but we'll do it funky. Oh, it's getting thicker. Thicker by the minute. We'll do it like that. Now what I want to do is I'm going to swipe with the white paint. Oh, it's not open yet either. Oh, I must have really gone berserker the last time. I just got everything partway done. Oh, sorry, got my chat window partially covered. My bad. Hello, Twin Tower Power. Oh, are you new? I don't remember seeing your name before. Thank you for coming. Thanks. It's not much so far. Hopefully, these things are just such a pain. The first ones they redesigned them, and so, these things are really hard to get off sometimes. This one at least will come off. Sometimes they come off in little pieces. They don't come off in one glorious thing. It does. It does look like that now. All right, I'm gonna put a little bit here. I'm gonna get a swiper. What have I got to swipe with? You know, you'd think I would have would have had these things already, like a normal person, and I just come out here and go, let's just start pouring paint and then worry about it later. You know, I might take this cardboard and just cut some off of it for a swiper. It'll work. It'll work as well as anything. The trick with the swiper is, though, you want to have the one side really, really flat. So you want to make sure that you know which side you're cutting off the original cardboard, because that'll be the better side to swipe with. Do that real quick. I usually use those plastic things, but I don't know where any are. So we won't try that. We also won't throw our thing in there. All right, let's see if this works. Not so much. Should be dragging that white up there. And it's not. I wonder what's up. Why it is not doing that. Well, let's try that again then. What else do we have? Do I have an official swipey thing? Well, let me try swiping down towards me. See if that works better. There's the white. Okay. This is that first one we little bonkers on. Okay. Get a paper towel. Probably pressed too hard that first time. I think that was me. Well, I mean, it's obviously all me because it's an inanimate object, you know. It couldn't be it. It can't do anything. But that's pretty. I missed a spot right there. But other than that, it's pretty. This is the spot again. See if we can do that. I'm not sure if I can just pull it in there. I don't want to really turn it. Let me try it going up. I don't know if I have enough white to. One thing I've got is things in my way. Try that again. Oops, dropped a little in there. I don't know why I come out here when it's hot like this. I can tell I'm practically giddy out here. Not too bad though. I'm sure it'll make for some interesting effects. It's a good amount of white on that one. Didn't get all the way down there though, unfortunately. Try that again. It's not too bad though. What I was thinking is I wanted sort of a springtimey sort of thing. And that looks pretty good for that. Pretty good for those colors. Let's get across there. I like that lavender. It's been my favorite thing so far today. It's getting that lavender together. And I do seem to have, oh, didn't mean to go back in there. I'll just throw that back on there. You seem to have plenty of paint for once. My number one problem pouring is I don't put enough paint down. And that's usually leads to whatever problems I have can be traced back to that. Now that I missed a little bit, so I'm going to try and come back over. Let's see. Oh, you know what we could use for a swiper? Sometimes I just use a paper towel. I think I might do that. Might just do that. Wet a paper towel and use that. It's a lot quicker. The reason I didn't want to this time was I was going to swipe it unevenly. So I still may. Still may do that. Let's try this again. But for a minute I had the wrong white paint. It didn't like come out for a second. It threw me off. Let's put this up here. More up there. Let's bring this down. Up. Start losing it down here. I'm not sure if that's because of the canvas warping or my tool. Let me try this. Well, that definitely looks a little warped. Oop. It's all right, we'll just drop that right on there. I kind of like it though. I'm not saying I don't like this the way it is. Just not quite what I expected. What I might do is come back in and swipe it again all the way down and get this part here that keeps missing. It might be as simple as running out of paint, I'm not sure. That may be over there. What I ought to do when I have extras, put it along the sides there. That's what I should be doing. I was thinking. Let's see, get that. Let me put that gray. I almost picked up that gray. Let me switch it, make sure I'm getting the white. Put that white down there. Got here. Just put those over there. Oop, almost dropped that. I am so clumsy, you guys, even on a good day. Oh, forever. No, that's just not working at all. I'm going to try this. Try the other side. Oh, boy. I certainly brought a lot of paint with me. Get these out of the way. He just tilted a bit. It's working pretty well, though, actually. Let's just tilt that a bit. Okay, now I picked up that under thing. I put a thing of plastic down here to catch paint, and then I lifted it right on up there with me. I think I might need to swipe this a bit more times. Might need to use the heat gun too. But it's running down there pretty good though. Sometimes it starts looking like something when you do this. Kind of like these colors. I don't like the dripping effect, but I might be able to do something about that. First, I want to just kind of see how this covers. If it covers, how it covers. Might need to swipe it again. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I've got enough paint here. I know it always looks like so much paint when I put it down. That's why I don't end up using enough usually. Yeah, this is really pretty what it's dripping onto down on this plastic. I should see if I could put something under it. That's what I should do, is just drip on the canvas. It always looks so nice. See what I want to do there. It's getting some interesting colors though, huh? Oh, I was thinking maybe I'd get a rock. Do I have any rocks? I've always got rocks. See if I can drip on something. I hate to waste all that beautiful paint. There's something. Let's see if I can drip on this rock as I go. I'm not going to worry too much about it though. I don't want to mess up the canvas because I'm worried about dripping on this rock. But the drips are so pretty, and I didn't want to not use them. These colors are nice is why. Not sure if I want to swipe that again or not. This one side doesn't look like it's got quite enough paint. And this side though is dripping down too much. I think what I'm going to have to do is turn it. Yeah, turn it on the diagonal. See what that does. I might just swipe it again. It'll be the first time. It does seem to be having some issues though, I must say. Colors are so nice though. Let's try. I am going to swipe it again. I'm going to put some white, and I'm going to try and get on this part that's not cooperating up here. And we're just going to try and swipe along there. I am going to use the paper towel, and we'll just dampen that just a touch. Here, it helps it adhere better. Let's see. Now, unfortunately, I don't think this is quite as wide as that, so we might have some issues. But let's try it and see, and then just see if we can fix the little sides. I can't say that didn't work. And that one little side, I wonder if we can get over there. Certainly efficient, wasn't it? Just shoop on down there. I'm going to see if I can dry those bubbles real quick. Okay. Now the next thing would be, can I fix that one side? Well, either side. I wonder if I can just rock it a bit for the sides. Where I swipe near the top, it results in the paint being a little thinner. Let's come down here, see if we can get it to move. Doesn't want to move too much, I have to say. That's probably a bit of the heat. Get that rock. I'll just hold it here for a second, let it come down there. So what I'm trying to do is bring it down, because where I swiped it didn't resulted in it not having any paint. So I'm trying to just let the paint flow down enough to cover those areas where that happened. Let's see if I can help it with this stick, just the tiniest bit. Yep, I could. I certainly could. The other area where we're having a little trouble paint-wise here is the side. There again, I might be better off just trying to, oh, actually that was quite pretty though. Changed my mind, I want to do this now. Let's see what happens. We'll tilt it a bit. I might get some implements out and work with it. I'm not sure what I want to do, but we can try different things. Might try that balloon thing for today. I never have any luck with that, so I might go ahead and try it. Again, I'm just trying to get this to cover this one little area that doesn't want to cover. See if I can use a stick. Just put a little more of this lavender right back on there, I think, is what we'll do. I think that'll be just fine. Just needs a little bit more paint here right on this edge. I don't want to mess up what I've already done to get there. There we go. A little bit more on there. Now this one spot, let me see if I can fix that. Kind of dripped a little bit when I brought it down there. You know, I kind of like it. I'm not sure what I want to do with it. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really stand alone like this, but there's something about it I sort of like, so I'm not too sure. Should have probably had a plan. Plan would have been beneficial, I think. But I do like it. Didn't come over those sides at all, though. That's okay. You can always paint the sides after. That works fine. Now, where's that lavender? I'll get a little bit more here on this edge. If it wants to flow over there, it can. I try and get the sides done, but I don't spend too long on it. A lot of people frame their paintings, so you don't want to really spend all day on the sides of the thing. On the other hand, if you have extra paint, you might as well use it, I suppose. Okay, now, all this is really just stalling while I figure out what I want to do. There's that way, but if we turn it this way, what does that do for us? Because it's got the green throughout. Otherwise, I'd almost say that was like a sky or something in there. I don't know. What should we do with it? I feel like we want to do something with it. I just don't know what. I mean, I can just make patterns, you know. That's possible. But does that do anything for us, really? I said I like it. I'm just not sure about just having the lines here. Like it should do more than that. Not sure what way I like it better. Let me try one of those balloon things. I know it never works for me. These are things that never work for me, but I insist on trying them. You could try a chain pull. It's always fun. What if I want to dip the balloon in something? Well, let's just try this and see. Just very lightly. Right back on there. I don't know. It's kind of just moving the paint around, but it's not really saying anything to me. Yeah, I don't know. People use these with good results, but you know, they might be using slightly different paint than I'm using. Oh, that's ridiculous. I'll put that over here. But I'm just gonna toss this balloon. Well, the other thing we can do then, oh, we could wreck it with a fork or with a stick, either one. Let's see, I should have plenty of sticks somewhere. I usually have plenty of pointy sticks around. Oh, here's one. Do that, just do designs, or we could do it more like a wave pattern. Get something out here for a second. Now that I've messed that up, we can do that. Let's see. I like that better than this. If I can redo that, might be able to. I should have thought this through a little bit, what kind of pattern I wanted to do. But you know, if I don't work fast, I can't do anything anyway, so. Well, the other thing you can do with it is blow on it with a straw. That creates sometimes some interesting things going on there. Oops. I'm not sure that did anything. other than make a mess. We'll see if we can disperse it a bit. Not sure. I like the basic idea, just not sure in the way I executed it. Might just swipe it again and let it go at that. I'm not sure these aren't working for me as well as I would have thought. Maybe they're just not complex enough. Let me check. Normally, I like a nice spiral pattern. I'm not sure about this one working for me. Let's see what we got here. It's the sort of thing that you could easily put a silhouette on that once it dries, or even before it dries. We might try that. I want to swipe it one more time while I can. If we want to swipe it with a dark color, do something a little different. What we got here? Got that purple, got that color. I think I want to do one more try with it. See, I've got this darker purple. We've got some black. I could probably just use black. If I use black and mix it with a little purple, try that. Or a dark cherry or something. Let me see. What have I got here? I got anything left to swipe with? This one. I want to do the whole thing or just bits of it. I'm going to try it one more time, I think. I'm not too thrilled with this. I'm going to try introducing a more dark color. See if that does anything for me. Oh, where did I put the lid? Just had it a second ago. Honestly, get my head next. I'm just going to leave it like that for the moment. I can fix it later. I'll get one of these. This is fine. Okay, let's spritz that water again. We're definitely doing this now. I just dropped it right in there. Let's try and come back there a little bit. And let's try this again. Maybe we'll try just zigzagging the stripe along here. And then come up forward. I just need to do that edge a little bit. If I can tear off a bit. Get that part that doesn't come up there. Just for consistency's sake. It kind of looks like the same swipe. Because it's not quite wide enough for what I need. Okay. That part didn't swipe either. Let's swipe it while we have a chance. Everything else swiped pretty good. Making some nice patterns there. Actually, that's looking better, isn't it? That looks more interesting, doesn't it? Less like a hot dog, huh? If you're still with me here. Let's try and maybe fix that one little edge. And just tilt it a bit. Then I think what we might do on this guy, I like that. I like the cells. Those are, I didn't expect those. I like those. I'm not sure what I want to do now, but I like it. I like it a lot better than I did. Well, we've got this essential thing going on here. Let's try. If we want to try and put like some an element in there, like some pine trees or something. Like this is the water and that's the pine, the sky up there. Nice rainy day sort of sky. It's pretty. Colors are pretty. I just need to make it have a logical reason for being, I think. Well, let's try that. Let's create a little land sort of area here. Maybe sort of a land area. Just break that up differently. Probably should wait till this isn't so wet to try something like this. One here. Let's try adding those. Where's that stick? See what we think. I probably shouldn't be dunking that back in there. Let me pour this into something else. A little cup maybe or something? Oh, one of these will work. That'll work. Pour a little bit in here. At some point though, I've got to find this lid. Wherever I put the lid to this. Of course, it's getting to where I'm almost to the end of this one. Gosh. I didn't want to see if it was hiding under there. Don't see it. I don't know where I put that thing. I took that lid off. If you guys see it, you holler at me, okay? I took the lid off and I put it over here. Then where did I put it? Well, that's just insane. Not the first crazy thing I've done today, even. Well, we'll just carry on, shall we? All right, I'm gonna do my usual little pine trees here, I think. It'll become my usual rainy day pine trees. Actually, I could have done birch trees. Do birch trees on a landscape like that. That would work. See, it's funny. I seem to be running out of paint, and yet when I go to put this on here, there is plenty of paint. It is thick. So I'll also add a little dark color to this. Once you get the hang of pine trees, they're pretty easy to make. It's hard to go wrong with them. You can always build them up higher if you need to. Might add some of this to the ground too, this darker color. What a prudent person would do right now would be to set this aside till it got a little drier, work on something else, and come back to it. But I didn't get where I am today by doing something sensible. a little of this. So just a little of this in here, I think. Create our sort of land area right here. And we'll do that. Just add a little of this darker color in here. To add a little more to that. Add a little more, might add a little black to it even. Get some nice dark pine trees. Not decided yet. Could add a drop of black in there. Not too much. Could add a little. Let's do that. Still looks a little light to me. Just swirl some black in there. Oh, boy, yeah, that darkens it right up there, doesn't it? Didn't know it had any purple in there at this point. I have to add more purple back in there. Now let's do that too. So it's nice because we did those number of layers on it. It created quite a bit of complexity in the colors. You know, you can almost see those previous layers in there. So even the fact that it didn't work out made it sort of work out. If that made any sense at all, you can tell me if it's not making any sense. Won't hurt my feelings. Clean that off a little bit. Let's try and get a little bit of the. So this paint's a little, it's surprisingly thick, and once you want to layer something on there, then it's like there's no end to paint. When I was trying to run it along the canvas, it just sort of sat there. It's fine. That's fine. We made it work. We just did something a little different. I've actually sold a couple of these pine tree paintings, so I guess it's fine if I get if I end up with another one. If something works for you, just keep doing it. I think when you live in the Pacific Northwest too, a lot of people buy these that are local, because living in the Pacific Northwest is almost a almost a cult. If you live in the Pacific Northwest, you know what I mean. I think I'll open that door. This paint is non-toxic, but it doesn't mean it doesn't get to be a bit heavy. Oh, there we go. Whoa, nice breeze. Nice breeze kicks up here in the evening. Those look a little sparse to me. I need to make my pine trees a little more filled in, I think. It'd help to get up and look at it from afar, I guess. See if we can get that little edge of a, not just moving the paint around, actually get some color on there. Not sure if I can, but I'm going to try. see. Fill that in a little more, or just make another one. Make another one near it. That works too. Maybe some little bushes or something in there too. Put another one in here though. Let's see if we can try some bush-like things or something. We got some little rocks. I wonder if we could put some rocks in there. Does that look like a rock? Yeah, there's often rocks where there's water and land. You often have little rocks coming out here. That's something else dark color is good for. Just throw them in there like they're little rocks. Actually, that's pretty effective considering I'm just dropping the thing on there, rock-wise. I've done less effective rocks than that. Oh yeah, opening that door was absolutely the right decision. No sense having big French doors if you never open them, is it? I always figure I'm a little skittish about opening them. I'm afraid the squirrel's gonna just join me, you know. And so far he hasn't though. He looks in on me though. He does. He looks in on those doors at me. He knows I'm the one giving him the nuts, that's for sure. He has definitely figured that out there. So I'm not sure if he'd view an open door as an invitation to join me. If we can just do that like little bushes or something, or little bush-like things. I will try it. I'm all about experimenting. I like to experiment with what I'm doing. Find different ways of doing stuff. We'll get some other colors and add some different things in here. Add some little stick-like things or something. I think we can do that. We'll clean this off. It's getting a little thick. What time is it? Oh, I lose all track of time here. Let's see. Let's do some bigger rocks too here. Since we got rocks going so well. Do some rocks down in here too. Oh, that made some pretty cells down here. Oh, that looks nice. If we want to add some rocks or something to that water though, that is really tempting to do. Put like a rock here where the water sort of like the water sort of bending around it or something. Like there's a rock sitting right there. Let me try and visualize for a sec. Or we could just put another shore here too. Do that. Like there's so many possibilities you can do, you know? Just sit and think about it for a second. Just come over here. Let's put a few more in here. I like to bring the trunk straight up. There's a couple reasons. One is if you don't want to fill it in all the way, you know, you want a little trunk showing through, then you want the trunk there. And also it helps me keep it straight. If it's easy to get off if you don't have any guideline, but if you've got that trunk up there, then it helps you a little bit. Could do another type of tree too. It doesn't have to all be fir trees, I guess. But, you know, I said they're easy. They're easy to drop in here. And they seem pretty popular actually. And I quite like doing them. Like the fir trees here. Makes you feel like they're, I don't know, living things. There's some about trees I heard. Like they take care of each other and stuff, like like their root systems and that, they'll come to the aid of if one of them isn't well, then the other ones will somehow contribute their through the root system and help heal them or something. So there's actually more going on in a woodland with trees than you think. I'll have to look that up again later, but I think there's something, I read something like that. Let's add a few more trees. I like doing it with the pour paint as I go because it will mix in a little bit with the pour paint that's there. So it still gives it a little bit more of that dreamy sort of quality that you just don't get if you do traditional acrylics on top of the pour paint, which I often do. I don't mean to say there's anything wrong with that. I do that all the time. It's just for this particular style of painting. It gives it a slightly more dreamy quality if you can do the pine trees at the time. Do these ones maybe, oh, didn't get any paint on there. This one's a little more off in the distance there. And of course, if you're seeing this through the rain, which is what those vertical parts kind of imply, the trees might have a very misty sort of quality to them, you know. You just go kind of back and forth there. Do the tree that way. Do a very stylized tree. Oh, it kind of works. That's interesting. Let's see, you learn something new every day. So you have to weigh that with the how wet the paint is, because as it dries, it gets easier to lay these colors on top. When it's really wet, they mix in a little more. Oh, we've got them sort of going all the way around. That one, maybe do a little more on that one. Maybe I wasn't thinking he was a tree at first or something. Kind of stand up here and see it from an overall perspective. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. You know, it's interesting. This part right here looks almost like another row of trees. Like, and here too, there's little places where they look like they're little rows of trees behind these trees. It looks really interesting. I'd like to draw that out more, but I don't want to mess it up to try it. And I want to put something here, but I just don't know what. I mean, it's pretty the way it is, you know. And people buy paintings as much just for the colors as anything. You got pretty colors and, you know, people tend to want to buy it, even if there's not much going on there. But this has some good things going on. That's for sure. It has some nice features. I want want to put a little more of a water line in there, but I'm not sure where exactly. A little more of just a line, sort of demarcate where the land masses are. Of course, the little rocky things I put in do that too. Just add a few more rocks to it. That would help. I guess the only rule there is don't make them all the same size and don't evenly space them. You know, gotta have some randomness there with your rocks. Do I want to build any of these pine trees up higher than what I did? I almost want to make the land more down here. Yeah, do we want to do anything down here? I've done banks with like bulrushes and stuff in the front. That's kind of pretty. But there's so many pretty things going on here. I might just leave it. I have two problems with pour painting. One is not using enough paint, and the other one is not leaving well enough alone. Can't tell you how many nice paintings I've kind of gone, oh, you know, that's just not quite right, and then ended up scraping off the whole thing. Actually, I've only ever scraped off paintings a couple of times, mostly on the last, mostly recently. Usually I have in mind like, no, I can save that painting. I'm like Dr. House, right? It's like, no, I don't care. I'm going to save that painting. It's like, you know, you could just paint over it. No! I'm going to spend way longer trying to figure out how to make it work than I would ever spend just painting over it. Sometimes, though, it does. It leads me into doing different things with that attitude than what I would do if I just gave up on the canvas. Sometimes, though, you gotta know when to fold them, that's for sure. I make that tree a little taller. Grab something to drink. Boy, the mystery of the jar cover, huh? I love these colors, though. So that's the important bit. The rest of it was just sort of, the trees were almost just to make it make some sort of sense of why it existed. I mean, at least in my mind, it looked a little funny just to have it go this squiggle and the straight and no reason. But if you put the line of trees in between, then suddenly it's got a reason. The trees almost look right to me this smaller size. I was tempted to put in a bigger one. See, you could almost put in like a bank with like a big tree, Bob Ross style, a big tree right here in front. And everyone would go, oh my God, it looks so much better before you put in that big tree. Let's see, play around here a little with these sides. I think this might be one where I go ahead and paint the sides. There's just not a lot of paint on those sides, but that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, you let it dry and then paint the sides a solid color. Gosh, I just don't know if I should do anything else to it or not. I guess if I don't know, I should almost just leave it then, huh? I can always put things on it after the fact with regular acrylic. Or even with pour paint. I didn't realize you could do that at first, but you can come back in. Of course, obviously it doesn't mix in with it if it's dried. But if I come back tomorrow and I want to add something in pour paint, I can do that. It won't mix in, it'll lay on top. But if you want for consistency's sake to be all pour paint, you can do that. You can even come in and re-pour a bit. You know, I've had something where I've looked at it and there's just one section. I had a seascape like that. And one section just doesn't look right and you just go, okay, I'm just going to repour that section, you can do that. Gee, I love all these mysterious things back here. It just looks like rows and rows of pine trees like way off in the distance. Oh, there's a squirrel. Oh gosh, guys. Well, do you think we should do anything in front? We could put like a big rock or something. I don't know. Or we could just leave it. I guess if you don't know, you could go with kind of a less is more and just leave it. It's a 5:45. I don't think I'm adding a lot of value. I'm just going to step back. You can't, unfortunately, I've tried before. I don't know if anybody else has done pour paint that's done this. I went to look at the painting, so I lift it up, and then it starts, it's like, oh no, wait, stay where you are. So now I've learned I stand up to look at the painting. I don't lift the painting up with a pour painting. That is just never a good idea. I just love those colors. I really do. I love the colors. I love all the mysterious things going on back there. And even the water part's very pretty. I think we should probably just leave it. Just leave it the way it is. So let me just move this off to one side then. I'm just going to quickly go around the edges here. I think we have a pretty successful painting. Where if it's overly drippy, I want to just get the drips out of there before I set it down. I was wondering too, I wanted to see where we were at with these sides because I can add some pour paint to them if I feel it's close enough. This one side has no paint at all, but the other three sides do, and I do still have paint left, so I can see if I can get some on there. I guess just even as a little first coat, it doesn't hurt anything. Let's just add some on there. That'll be fine. We'll do that. Let's see, that's the side with none at all. Let's see over here. Cover up any, don't want to tilt it too much. I don't want to be running down the paint. Like I just said, don't tilt it. I'm just doing this just enough to see what's going on with these sides. Which is left in there. Probably enough to add to that. Just a thin little coat. I'll probably still have to paint over this. I don't think it's going to be thick enough to cover. And then this side here, we got big old nothing. So let's see if we've got enough paint here to add to that. And now you see why I have to wear the gloves, even for non-toxic paint. Although, gosh, I see some people doing this with no gloves. They are intrepid. Oh yeah, boy, there's a lot of paint still in there. So let's grab that. And I'll put this to one side. There's no point in, I mean, it doesn't matter if you do the sides, but on the other hand, there's no point in throwing out that little bit of leftover paint when you could put it on the sides. That wouldn't make any sense. And it does sometimes help as it's finishing up its setting process to have the paint kind of sealed all the way around it. Except if you mess it up like that. There we go. All right, did we cover everything? A little bit here, but this looks kind of funny. So let's see if we can just fix that. That little bit right there. Should maybe tilted that a little bit more than I did. All right, let's turn it back right side around before I put it to one side. I think we're going to leave this the way it is since I'm just debating, not knowing quite if it needs something or not. Instead, if I decide it does, I can always add it back in later. Sometimes I've added in a water line or something the next day and had that really make the difference. But it looks pretty good. I love all this. All this that's going on in the sky. I really like that. So let's put this to one side and let it sit here and dry. Where can I put this where I'm sure it will be squirrel free? How about on this tray? move that off there. This on there. A little bit of paint. Got a little paint on the floor. We'll just clean that. Not that it matters. I got paint all over this floor. I'll tell you, I'm so glad I had a separate painting space before I started taking up this type of painting because, you know, my house would be a disaster. I mean, sometimes you sort of try and be careful, but then, you know, you'll get going on it and just get in there. And I put that in there. Now I don't know what to do with it. I put that over there. And I still need that cap. What on earth? What on earth did I do with that? I mean, I would have opened it sitting here, so I wouldn't have taken it somewhere. So what did I do with it? You know, I could put the paint, I could just put the paint in a separate container if I don't see it. It seems silly, but you know, if I've done something really stupid with that cap and I just can't find it, I can't just leave the paint. Although, look at that, there's hardly anything in there. Could just pour it onto something, pour it onto a rock or something. Just use up the rest of it. It's another way to go if you just can't find the thing. What we got here? Get a great big rock and pour it on it. Let's do that. We'll just use it up that way. We'll do a bit of this rock too. It didn't get quite enough paint. I'm just gonna pour it on here then. Oh, you know what I could do? I could put other paint with it and then pour it all on there. Do something interesting. Oh, we shouldn't, and yet I might. Oh, I've got a little paint in here. I'll pour that in there. There's not enough to do for a canvas, but let's do something with it. We'll do some rocks or something. We'll do something fun. Not that that last thing wasn't fun. I had a good time. I think we ended up with something kind of nice. Put a little of that in there. And then there's just a little bit of white in here. But again, not enough to do anything with. So these are different paints. These are from a company called Primal Flow. And I got their painting medium. Now, if you have something like that, what do you want to do with it? Let's pour it on this rock. Actually, I've got mini canvases, so I could use those. Make sure that, yeah, that's in the right way. Sometimes with a rock, it balances better on one side than the other. I'm just going to try and pour that on there in some bizarre manner. And we'll just tilt it as if it were a canvas. Boy, isn't that interesting? I'll tell you, pour painting is just fascinating to me. I guess it's fascinating to everybody that does it. That's why people do it. Let's bring that down a little bit. With rocks, and I did not do this time, but with rocks, sometimes it's a good idea if you can to seal them with gesso or something so that they're not porous when you pour. That way the paint glides over it better than what it's going to here. Because I don't think some of them I sealed with gesso and then I put them back, so I don't know quite which ones I did and which ones I didn't. But see, that solved the problem of where that lid was for that jar by just using up the rest of the paint. I'll tell you, guys, sometimes I really, seriously. Oh, hello, dear. I was just finishing up my stream. I couldn't figure out where I put the cap to this paint, so I decided to just use it all up on a rock, and then I didn't have to worry about where the cap was anymore.
Cap what?
It did. And then I'll be right in and we'll grab that Chinese food. I'm really hungry. We'll figure out which one we want. All right, you guys. Well, actually, this worked pretty well. I like this. It's different. I just put these back outside my studio. That's what I used leftover paint on them, and I just throw them out there. I'm just going to leave this here. And normally I would clean up more, but since Steve's here for dinner, see if I have enough paint to run through this. I'm just going to grab all this paint and see if I've got enough to do anything on this rock. Not sure if I do, but it got a nice start, but it just didn't have quite enough paint. What did I use? Oh, that's right. I didn't use a cup or anything. I just poured right on the canvas. That's why I don't have much left in a cup or anything, obviously. Let's put that all in there. Oh, that's pretty. Looks almost like a flower now that I did that. See, now it could be like a little flower. Okay, well, we have had some fun today, huh? I am going to go and we are out of food in the house. So we're going to pick up some Chinese food. I'm going to go order that. And we'll just get rid of these. Get rid of that cap when I find it. Take these out here. Well, I guess you guys don't want to watch me clean up. Let me get something that I can use my mouse. wipe this off enough. In fact, I might just put it over there. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for coming. I had a good time. I hope you did too. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.